It is a beautiful day, and um, it's wonderful to finally be outside in warm weather, and the sunshine is out, and we're talking good things here, like restaurants opening up. And so I'm here today with Gwen Everly. Where's Gwen? She's over here. And Gwen is the owner of J. Render's Southern Table and Bar. And also with us is 10th District Council member Amanda Mays Bledsoe and Mary Quinn Raymer, president of Visit Lex. And so we all know that our restaurants here in Lexington are one of the most exciting culinary scenes in all of the United States, and we're very proud of that. And so we're going to be reopening. Governor Andy Beshear has provided the opening date, which is May the 22nd. He also has said that restaurants can only fill 33% of their tables. So everyone's having to get real creative about opening back up, putting tables outdoors, on adjacent sidewalks, in parking lots, and possibly into streets that we can close. And so social distancing masks will continue to be important. We want everyone to be safe, including those who work in restaurants and those who want to eat there. Even though we still have some of the details to figure out on all this, we wanted to let restaurants know that we are working really hard. We're on your side to help make these preparations because we're all pretty excited about going out to eat again. So, here are some of the things that we know. It will be necessary for us, the city, to suspend some code, some permit, and some fee requirements to allow restaurants and retail to expand their business footprint outdoors. We're looking at doing this over a 3-week period with an opportunity to extend that if necessary. Businesses will still need permission from the Fayette County Health Department and the Bureau of Alcohol Beverage Control. So restaurants will need to clearly define their seating boundaries. In addition to allowing for social distancing, there must be enough room, enough space for those with disabilities to pass by. And wearing masks in restaurants will be important when possible. Of course, we know you cannot eat with a mask on, but everything else, when you're coming and going and waiting on dinner to arrive, whatever, you'll need to be masked. So today we're here in Beaumont, home of J. Render's Southern Table and Bar, and owner Gwen Everly, as I said, has joined us. And her restaurant is very interested in expanding their patio into the parking lot. And so I want to ask Gwen to join us up here and tell us a little bit about how that will work for you. Gwen?
So, as we look to reopen on the 22nd, we have already started some work with our patio to spread the tables out and get them 6 feet apart with room for people to walk through. But that leaves about 6 tables or so unused, which, decreases obviously the number of people we can serve. So if we're allowed to move into the parking lot, then we can put to use all of the tables that we have for our patio. And of course, that's going to help, weather permitting, that'll help us, build our revenue back up and get people back into the restaurant while they feel safe at the same time. So it's awesome that the city is looking at doing this, especially to some of our restaurant friends downtown that maybe don't have a big patio. This enables them to also reap the benefits of being able to open the patio on the 22nd, and also ones that are landlocked. I mean, this is just going to make a difference for all the restaurants. So we're super excited. You know, we're doing everything that we need to do to make sure everyone is safe, and we can't wait to welcome everybody back.
Thank you so much, Gwen. And now we'd like to hear from the 10th District Council member, Amanda Mays Bledsoe, who represents this area. Amanda?
Thank you, Mayor, and I really appreciate her leadership on making some of this happen. Gwen is just one of the amazing restaurant owners in this community who we've been trying to support and who's been a great partner through us for a number of these last few months. And I know that we want to support them as quickly as possible, and this is just another small way, in a very safe way, for us to support the local community and business and small business that we have here. And I, for one, love eating on her patio and a number of the patios here in Beaumont and downtown, and I can't wait for us to do that in a safe way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And now I'd like to call on Mary Quinn Raymer, who is the president of Visit Lex, and who, among other things, works with restaurants all over Fayette County and the region. And as Mary Quinn knows, and as Councilmember Bledsoe knows, restaurants are so important to our economy here and to our tourism industry. And so I'm kind of guessing that Mary Quinn is really excited about seeing restaurants open. So welcome to the podium.
Thank you, Mayor. Lexington has a trademark culinary scene that is definitely known for its vibrancy and diversity and innovation. And over the last several years, the culinary offerings in our city have been part of the hallmark hospitality experiences that we've been able to offer both locals and guests alike. And prior to the shutdown, I would think it's fair to say that our restaurants were looking forward to a really robust 2020. It's no secret that the pandemic has hit the hospitality industry first, and it's also hit us really hard, and our restaurants are certainly no exception. I know that I speak for so many when I say how much we have all missed frequenting our favorite establishments in the normal ways during these last 2 months. But our restaurant partners are known for their creativity and their resiliency, and this pandemic has shown us just exactly how strong they are. Many of our restaurants pivoted almost immediately and launched online platforms as well as sophisticated takeout and delivery solutions so that they could keep serving Lexingtonians during this time. As we begin to look at reopening, I am so pleased that our restaurants will be able to welcome diners back into their establishments following the guidelines of Governor Beshear. Allowing the expansion of our outdoor dining options for the next few weeks is an exciting step in the right direction for our partners that are eager to resume their in-person dining service. We know how much our restaurateurs care about their employees and their guests, and these options will allow them to reopen with staff and patron safety at the forefront of their plans. I am really grateful for Mayor Gorton and her leadership throughout this pandemic and for her support of the hospitality industry here in Lexington. And I will just close by saying I cannot wait to eat out again. Thank you.
Mary Quinn is exactly right. We have all had to become a little more creative, and resiliency is the name of the game right now. And being flexible. I think those who are flexible and resilient just turn and do things differently. So I do want to take just a quick second to thank all of our citizens here in Fayette County, because it is because of our citizens, our people here, that we have been able to keep our cases of COVID-19 at a low level. And, very few of us had the term flatten the curve in our vocabularies before this all happened, but that's what our citizens have done, is flatten the curve. And so we wouldn't be here today to announce the reopening of our restaurants and the creativity that they're using if it weren't for our citizens taking the healthy at home to heart. So I just say let's keep it going. and do it right. And we look forward to this wonderful addition to our economy, open restaurants. Thank you so much. And if anyone has questions, we have a few folks here who can answer them. That's inside.
It's unlimited on the patio as long as the 6 feet distance is maintained.
Yeah. All the social distancing is in place everywhere, but the limitation on the space is inside restaurants. Pardon me? Code? You mean changes in the codes? You know, we have restrictions on things like how many tables can be on a sidewalk, for instance. And you know, downtown in particular, sidewalks are used fairly frequently. So there are those kind of codes. We will have to get permission from the state to close some of the state roads, particularly downtown, where a lot of our restaurants front on state roads, and those kinds of things we'll have to work on. Well, what we are envisioning and working on right now is a plan that will ask restaurants who are on a state road to apply and to tell us they are interested, because we don't know where the interest will be. Just from my own perspective, I think one place that might be popular is Short Street, for example. And we have a number of restaurants in that area, and so we're quickly putting together this plan so that we can be ready and understand which restaurants actually want to do this. I know that some restaurants have said they won't necessarily open on the 22nd. They won't quite be ready. And so we're kind of being intentional about where this happens. Gwen is very fortunate that she has a patio, a big patio she can go on to, and a lot of restaurants don't necessarily have that, so that's where the streets may come in handy. Mm-hmm. Possibly, or one lane. You know, we got to be creative about this. If the restaurants can only have 33% of their space occupied, that's a third. So that will encourage them to look outside and how they might use some of the space. So we won't necessarily close off the whole road. We might use a lane. You know, I'm just kind of thinking out loud about what the team has been looking at. Come on up. Can you come to the microphone?
Well, right now we haven't done all of our measuring with a measuring tape, so we are working on that, and we're going to figure out exactly what fits and is legal on the patio. We're going to move some things around. Then we're going to take a look and see how many tables we have, and at that point we're going to try to figure out the best place to put them. Of course, we'll talk with our landlord and figure out, you know, I don't know if it'll be something that they're over in the parking spaces or what it's going to look like exactly. It'll just kind of depend on how many tables we have left over. I don't see us doing that, honestly, because our regulars and our people that come here, they come here for the atmosphere and to be here and enjoy it. And if I had to go tell them to get up, that's just not something that we're going to do. We want them to come enjoy just like they did before, but 6 feet apart. The only challenge I see now is staffing right now. We of course had to let everyone go, so now we need to bring people back. If we move and have people over here, just making sure we have it staffed appropriately, that we're giving good service. We're still going to do the curbside. We're still going to continue to do all the things that we came up with during the pandemic, like the family meals. So it's going to be different for our staff because we're adding back the dine-in. So we'll figure it out though. Okay. Oh, okay.
I think, I do think increasing the outside space will help people have confidence. I know that occasionally I hear someone say, well, I'm not going out yet. But we're going to do a lot of messaging around that because we think that the plans that are in place, if they're followed, it will be very safe to eat out. And we want to encourage people to do that. And I think the weather's nice. We're entering summer. It's a perfect time to be outside to eat. And so I do think that will help that. Well, we're first of all, we're looking at whether restaurants really are using this option. You know, do they feel this is a good thing and that they can make it work? And I think that's top of the list. And if it does work, then we will look at continuing it. And of course, we'll have to get we're in partnership with the council on this. The council will need to go ahead and work, you know, with us on relaxing some of those rules temporarily that we talked about earlier. So if no one, you know, takes advantage of the possibility to close a lane of a street, then maybe it's not an option we pursue for any longer. We'll see. This is all an experiment, isn't it? But I think it's a good one. I don't think so necessarily because inside, you know, tables will be spaced apart and the cleaning that's going to be required of tables and chairs and everything will be pretty rigorous. And so I think it'll be perfectly safe to eat inside or outside.
I think that we are all pretty resolved that it's going to be a very slow rebuild for our industry. I think aspects of the hospitality industry will come back sooner than others. So, for example, dining out or staying in a hotel, I think you'll see people begin to resume those types of activities in the very near future. The festival with 10,000 people or a big large scale convention, I still think we're looking for guidance and protocols on how to do that safely. So those are going to take a little bit longer. So I think that our industry is prepared for this to be a slow recovery. That being said, it's like one of my colleagues said, we've certainly been devastated by this pandemic, but we've not been defeated. And so we will be back. And we'll have some good lessons that we've learned through this to be with us on the other side.
Anything else? Any other questions? All right, well, come eat at Jay Render's or some of the other wonderful restaurants that'll be open on May 22nd. Thank you all so much.